Coming March 25th and 26th, Hobie Fishing World's qualifying event, Shasta Bass Kayak Classic. Get all the info at ShastaBassKayakClassic.com.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another show of Kayak Bass Live. We are excited for the show this evening. I have Rick on the other side, but before we get to Rick, I'm gonna go and give you our traditional reminders and updates of what's going on out here in the kayak bass scene. So, good evening. Glad everybody's here. It's a little bit awkward because for whatever reason my iPad won't let me view the chat, so I'm going to have to try it on my phone. So if you post a question, it may take me a little while to do that because I'm the only one here. And David might be coming on if he gets home in time at the end of the show, and we'll give you an update on the Shasta Bass Kayak Classic and what our plans are for there. But anyway, so we want to give everybody a reminder. Shasta Bass Kayak Classic starts this Saturday. There's a captain meeting on Friday. We talked about that last week with Brian and Brian. So March 25th, 26th. As of now, there are 62 anglers registered and possibly more. Looks like we got a couple guys that might be coming on last minute. So we're excited for that. Get out there and support Heroes on the Water and possibly win a chance at Hobie Worlds, Hobie's World qualifying event. So we also have want to give you a reminder to sign up for the Kayak Bass online photo contest. We call it a photo contest in California for those of you who are not here because California is California. So it's an online photo contest that you submit 8 fish pictures, right? So that is $36 to enter. As of now, there are well, actually, I believe it's not. Remember, the signups have closed on that, right? On the 15th. Yeah. So never mind. There's 30 anglers signed up for that. Right now, there are 159 fish that have been submitted for that event. It's an 8 fish picture contest for each angler. And right now, the current leader is Jason Cullen. He was the leader last week. He did upgrade his catch a little bit. He's now 158 1/4 inches for his 8 fish. And he also still has a current big fish, 22 inches. For those who are unfamiliar with what 22 inches is like and would prefer maybe a poundage or weight conversion, it's about a 6.5 pounder. So congrats to Jason. Hopefully somebody can kick him off and get an 8 or 9 here as the spawn is kicking in to full swing. Granted, we still only have, 10 days left in the month, but still, all right. So also want to give a reminder, the Kayak Bass April tournament is now live on Tourney X. If you weren't aware, James posted that last night. It has actually been public, but he didn't post it to everybody. He wanted the guys who finished last year to have an opportunity to get signed up first and have first dibs at that before he shared it openly and publicly. Granted, you could have still, we had a couple guys that found it and still signed up anyways. But right now, I think last night there was like 20 some odd, 28, somewhere between 25 and 30 guys already signed up for that. It caps at 50. if for whatever reason somebody backs out, the slot will open, but there's not really a waiting list. It's the first guy to jump in and make the payment will get it. So we want to be one of the first 50 guys signed up for that. It is April 22nd out at Lake Comanche, and it's a $42 entry to fish that event. It is an open launch. You can pretty much launch wherever you want. The only stipulation is that you have to be back at 3 p.m. at the South Shore ramp and in line. Probably won't actually be at the South Shore ramp, or I'll be maybe up by the little marina store thingamabobber. But it will be there. Reminder, Headwaters Kayak Spring Swap will take place on the 25th. So that's this Saturday. If you do have a boat that you want to, or a kayak that you want to put into the swap meet, you need to have it checked in with Dan by Friday night. So if you do want to participate in that, get it out there, man. Get in line early, because there will be people running to get their hands on a particular boat that they want. So be there early. He does rope it off, and he drops the rope, and then people run. I've never been there, but I've only heard stories. That's a pretty cool thing. Also, we have Headwaters Kayak Paddle Fest next month at Lodi Lake, April 22nd, with demos, clinics, food, and music. And then Sunday there will be a big fish contest for that as well. So get out there, participate. It's an awesome opportunity for those who want to try it. I believe we will have the Titan native Titan Propel out there. So I know myself will be out there trying to get on that if I can. I believe that we also have a tournament that Saturday. So the Sunday, I don't know. Fingers are crossed. What else we need to mention? Oh, this week's giveaway. Again, we're doing another giveaway for Trapper hooks, Trapper tackle. These are game-changing hooks, man, without a doubt. They have the box, which they are known for, with the 90-degree bend. When they get hooked, they don't come loose, because now they have to defeat a 90-degree angle versus a round bend, which is a lot easier to get out. You get one of those stuck in you, you're gonna need pliers. They don't come out very easy. So, Trapper tackle. To win that, we need you to share this stream with everybody, and we will give you one entry. And then, for an additional entry, use the hashtag Rig It, Lock It, Land It. That is Trapper Tackle's hashtag that they like to use, and we want to support Trapper Tackle and everything that they are doing. So, Rig It, Lock It, Land It. I prefer if you are on your computer and you can actually make a post, write a post. Don't just share now. Write a post and actually tag Trapper Tackle, and then use the hashtag in that post view. That'd be great. Or if you can get on later and maybe edit it, that'd be fantastic. Right on. So, with that, let's go ahead and bring in our first guest, Rick Rowland. Rowland? I don't know. Here, give me a second. Rowland. He's been over there patiently watching me go over my spiel. All right. How's it going, Rick, man? Nice to see you. Nice to have you. How you doing?
Yes, sir. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on your show, Wes.
Hey, man. You're very welcome. Traditionally we have David as well, but David has been, these past 2 weeks, has had to work night shifts, so that way he can make our Shasta Bass Kayak Classic up at Lake Shasta. So he usually works nights. But yeah, like I said, he actually worked during the day today, so he may be able to get home just in time. I think he did send me a text message saying that. But anyway, so let's fingers crossed. Maybe we get him on here later at the end after we talk to Matt. So, everything's going good, Rick, right? Yeah?
Yeah, going great so far. Got a little bit of momentum. So, hopefully I can carry that on to Kentucky Lake and Tennessee for the national championship in a couple weeks.
Well, you jumped. I was going to ask you if you're going to fish it, but it's all good. So,
hey, I'm excited about it. There's a lot going on with fishing right now. I mean, the Classic, so that's right around the corner, coming up this weekend, and a lot's going on in fishing that I'm excited about, definitely.
Yeah, I actually made a calendar of all of the major kayak groups that are across the nation, the ones that have some of the bigger followings, and pretty much every weekend, all the way through pretty much the end of October, practically. I think there's only like 1 or 2 weekends that I found that didn't have some major event going on. So. If all goes well, we're going to try to get as many of the winners from all those events on here and talking kayak fishing and or kayak bass fishing, because that's what we do. I'm a bass fisherman. You're a bass fisherman. We're Kayak Bass Live.
That's right.
Try to get as many guys on here as we can and help spread the love and bring awareness to our our passion and the corresponding groups that and organizations that they fish. So with that, man, Rick, man, what do you do for a living?
I'm in real estate. I'm a leasing agent for a property management company here in Alamance County. Basically, collect the rents, do the evictions, and stay on top of people and get the payments and that sort of thing. So I'm sort of the bad guy, but not really in my sense. But I guess some of the tenants may think I'm the bad guy.
Hey, man, you're just doing your job just like anybody else. It's like that cop that has to give you that $500 speeding ticket, and it's just doing his job. It's not.
That's right.
Yeah, there's nothing personal against you.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. So I imagine that affords you a little bit of maybe a little bit of leniency on being able to get out in the water when and if you need to.
Absolutely. I've been doing this for going on 20 years. So the gentleman I work for, he's very lenient. Just asked him a few weeks ago if I could get another Friday off. So, so I could go fishing again. So it's working out great.
Right on. Well, maybe I need to switch professions and start working in the leasing field, man. Next question, man. How did you actually get started into fishing? I imagine it's pretty much like everybody else's story, but let's hear it from you, man.
Yeah, growing up with my parents and so forth, we had a pond in the backyard, and other people, could see it from the road, of course, and there was always people coming up and asking if they could go and fish the pond. And I remember, at a young age, say 10 years old, a couple ladies came down and went fishing in the pond, and I walked back, was just learning from them what they were doing. And they actually turned me on to a Texas rig, how to do a Texas rig when I was 10 years old. So that actually got me started with fishing. And then my dad, of course, he showed me what he knew. And then, of course, there was always somebody different coming up wanting to go fishing in the pond. So from there, it was, just learning tips and their little tricks on how to catch them from here and there. And I just went with it.
Right on. Out of curiosity, man, what's the biggest fish you caught out of that pond growing up?
Oh, my goodness. Probably, if I had to guess, maybe 4.5. It was just plenty of fish, just overstocked. So we really never got any big size bass, but, we did get some large brim. There was some pretty good sized brim, hand sized brims in there. So, but bass, I'd say probably about 4.5 was the biggest.
Right on. And for you California guys, brim, it's like a bluegill or red ear. He's a bluegill.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, sunfish. Yeah.
Yeah, our guys are not necessarily up on the lingo, so I want to make sure they are aware of that. But wow, that'd be really cool. I wish I had a pond in my backyard. Granted, I did have a river not too far, but it's not the same. Our river flows a little too fast for a lot of the bass. Granted, they can get in some of the eddies, but and the banks are like this, trying to fish on the river isn't quite conducive to a young boy. So you got into fishing by fishing in your backyard. Well, how about the kayak fishing? How'd that start?
Kayak fishing. There were some friends of mine from up in West Virginia, and they bought some kayaks and got me interested in buying a kayak. And from there, we started making trips up to West Virginia to go for smallmouth on the Rappahannock. I'm sorry, it was in Virginia, not West Virginia, but in Virginia, fishing the Rappahannock River. And we'd float those, and I think our trips was usually about 10 to 13 miles float trips.
Oh, wow.
And it was some awesome water up there. We had to stage it during the spring. It's usually when we went up, and of course we always get a lot of rain that time of period. But it was some great trips. We caught some great smallmouth, and then from there, coming back home, I just started hitting the local rivers, mostly the Hall River here, and learning what to do and what not to do on the river, of course. And then from there, it just spread into the lakes and jumped into the tournament scene.
Right on. Yeah, that's actually how I kind of got into it too. Granted, it was on a actually large eddy off one of our rivers out here, fishing in a big old yellow banana.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, the rivers it seems to be one of the most popular ways I think that guys get involved. Like, you know, they see a river, they think a kayak works really well, and then they get out there and they fish it too, and then it just grows from there. And I don't know. Preaching the choir, man. I have a hard time not talking about it because I love it, but you know, everybody has their story.
Oh yeah, it's great just to go back and get away. I mean, just go back and hit the small rivers and do a little daily float trip and see what's out there.
Yeah, granted, I'm in a PA now. My river's not quite wide enough for me to be swinging that bad boy around, but
yeah,
one can dream. So, with that, what clubs, what organizations are you fishing out there?
we have the Carolina Kayak Anglers here. Also, you have the North Carolina Kayak Fishing Association. They do a lot of little small tournaments here and there, online stuff as well. But primarily, I fish with the Carolina Kayak Anglers, CKA. That's who was basically hosting the KBF trail on Falls Lake. So they're a really great bunch of guys, hardworking guys. I mean, they really put on a good tournament.
Yeah, it looks like you guys have one of the larger groups here in the United States, from what I can tell. I was talking with Greg Blanchard about some of the organizations, and that's CKA is one of the places he plans on going out and participating in some of those events out there down the road. Imagine you know Greg. Do you know who Greg is?
Yeah, I've heard the name.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I hadn't put the name with the face yet.
Yeah, he's a traveling physical therapist, and he's kind of got quite the following. He's I don't know if anybody else has dubbed him anything, but I've kind of dubbed him as the kayak bass nomad. The guy, he travels around the country, fishes some of the gnarliest places in his kayak in his native Slayer. I believe it's a Slayer. Mm-hmm. I don't know, but anyways, he plans on going out there, and that's one way I guess found out about you guys. In addition to your success on the KBF trail event. What rig are you fishing out of, Rick?
I have a native watercraft Slayer Propel 13, and also I have a Coosa or Jackson Coosa HD for my riverboat. So I got two.
Right on. Yeah, that's when, after my banana rig, I moved into a Coosa HD, and I really like that rig. Granted, I think it might have been a little on the small side. I am 6'2", 280 pounds, and I need something bigger, so I switched to a PA, and I may possibly pick up another river boat so I can make the small waters and not worry about messing up my drive, but that's down the road. Anyways, enough about me. We're here to talk about you, man. So let's talk about your win, man. So where is Falls Lake? Where does that lie?
That's pretty much centrally located here in North Carolina. It's just above Raleigh, North Carolina, and pretty big reservoir. I think it's around 12,000 acres. So you got your pick. I mean, there's several launch sites at that location or around the lake that you could choose from, and a lot of different terrain to fish.
Right on. That's a hefty sized body of water. What kind of depth are you looking at that lake? Is it
main channel is probably about 50 foot deep down near the dam area on the lower end of the lake, and of course it goes shallow all the way up to the creeks and contributaries that run into it up on the north end. Eno River, I believe, and the Noose River as well. So it's everything. It's a wide mixture of you got your deep shoals, deep channels, all the way up to the northern end. You got a lot of flats with full stumps.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I always ask.
And some grass as well. So
yeah, I always ask that because out here, all of our reservoirs they're deep canyon reservoirs. Like like if it's full pool, some of those lakes will reach 700, 800 feet deep, like nuts, you know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm no joke. So those bass will still live on the flats in some of the places, but yeah, in the deepest parts of the channel by the dam, and they can get hundreds of feet deep. So that's why I asked. It kind of puts into perspective. Granted, some of like Clear Lake, I think some of the deepest places are only like anywhere like 40, 45 feet, which is more what most guys cross country can relate to. But that's one reason why I always ask that. So you did kind of lay it down there pretty good about the fishery. So you got stumps, you got your grass. Just sounds like just your typical bass fishing kind of reservoir or lake. I guess it's a lake, right? Is it? You said it's a dam, so technically it is a reservoir, right?
Reservoir. Yeah, you're correct.
Right. So, what was the water temp out there? I mean, what kind of pattern or what kind of where were the fish along their life cycle? Where were they?
They were definitely moving up. Leading up to the tournament, in pre-fishing a couple weeks prior to the tournament, water temperatures were really coming up. It was started out in the mornings in the low 50s, and then by afternoon, it was up around 57 or so back in the smaller coves and pockets and so forth. And that really had the fish turned on. The water clarity was about 2 foot. But then as it got closer towards the tournament, we had some fronts push in, also a few days with some high winds, which really stirred the water up, stained it a lot. And Mother Nature basically helped me, I think, or played a big role into my pattern. I was primarily looking off main channel at creek pockets and small coves with the deepest water I could find, basically. I was hoping or thinking that the bass, they were definitely in the transition period and on the move, getting ready for the spawn. So I was looking for the deepest water I could find in these pockets or coves, and that helped me out.
Right on. So you're fishing relatively close to the main body of the water, huh? What was I gonna say? So that's kind of what you were keen on. Were you keen on like any type of particular structure, or was it just those main creeks, channels, and creeks off of the main lake?
Pretty much the smaller creeks off the main lake. With the deepest water again. I think that was a key for me. The bass that I caught were early in the mornings. I caught the larger ones early in the morning, and they were more on the steepest side of the little creek channels. And then, of course, later in the afternoon, 1 o'clock, you could see a transition where the buck bass, the smaller ones, of course, they were moving up on the points, the secondary points inside these coves and pockets. And that basically sealed the deal for me, because I was hunting, 1 and 2 o'clock. I still needed a couple more fish to end my day. And that's when I started hitting those little secondary points and so forth, just trying to pick up, the dinks or the couple of the small ones to finish out that 5 bass limit.
Oh, so it was a 5. I failed to write down your total length. Can you remember it off the top of your head?
I think it was 84 1/4 inches, I believe is what I had.
Yeah, that's solid. That's a solid, solid limit. My opinion. Somebody else might argue, but I would be happy with 84 inches for 5 fish on one day.
Oh yeah. It was a good limit. Falls is definitely a premier lake for large bass. In practice on an A rig, I actually caught a 9 pound 2 ounce. So,
nice.
And then also other guys that were pre-fishing, they were posting large fish all up and down the lake. So there again, like I mentioned, the bass were definitely on the move, and they were biting until those cold fronts were pushing in, and then of course it stirred up the water, stained the water pretty good. So
Right on. So you told us your structure. What were you using? What baits are you using? Techniques? How are you catching these fish?
I just slowed down. I just tied on a jig and just started bouncing off the bottom, just working it down these ledges and off these little points and so forth, and just working the jig as best I could, and luckily I got the bites.
Right on. Jig, man, that's just one of those baits you just catch fish no matter what, and it always seems to catch some of the better fish too. At least in my experience, you don't mess around when you're throwing a jig. Were you swimming it, or you said you just kind of working it along the bottom?
Yeah, it was a very slow presentation, is what I was showing them. I was just barely moving it, especially some of the ledges. I was sitting out in 20-foot water and throwing it up probably in the 6 foot of water. So, and working it back to me. But, I was just working it down those ledges really slow. And a couple times, you could feel them hit, but they just wasn't taking it. They just wouldn't commit to the bait. But, later in the day, or as that water started warming up, it seems like, they were then committing to the bait, and I got some really good bites.
Nice. I love throwing a jig. I don't like it when they don't eat it, but I like throwing a jig.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I started second guessing myself, especially after those first couple bites where I wasn't able to set the hook. I just feel them bump it, but, ease back on them, and nothing was there. And I was like, uh-oh. And I really started second guessing myself. And then, finally they started crushing it.
Once the sun got up and got a little more comfortable.
Yeah.
So with that, was there any gear or equipment that played a major role in your success out there for the event?
No, not really. Just my typical setups, were just I throw the 6 foot 10 inch rod made by 13 Fishing. And then I have a Lew's, I fished the Lew's BB1 Pros reels. So I think that combination there, it's worked with me in the past, and really I have some good feel with those rods. So I think that definitely helped out, especially on that cold morning.
Yeah. What would you say? How would you say your kayak played a role in that? Being able to be hands free or cover water, or are you not covering a lot of water?
Yeah, later in the afternoon I definitely was, but you're exactly right. The longer you can have that rod in your hand and control and position your kayak with your feet and with the rudder on the back, that's definitely a benefit. Because as more as you can keep that bait in the water, of course, that increases your chances on catching fish. So definitely the Native Propel I've been out fishing out of that boat for a while now, and it's helped me out in the past. So I'm sure it's going to help me out in the future as well.
Yeah, I don't doubt it, man. Hands-free fishing is the way to go. Absolutely. So with that win, you won $1,340. And the day was March 11th, for those who didn't know, on Falls Lake, man. Congratulations. That is a job well done, and you're ready for 2018, man. Going to shoot for that $100,000 next year.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's going to be a life changer if for anybody that wins it.
And maybe not the money, but the title. I think we're getting to that point now where the title means everything. You get to wear that around, for the whole year. Nobody else gets to say they're the national champion for that year. As we'll talk to Matt here in a minute, So I'm going to see if we have any viewer questions here. Let's see. I apologize if I roll through here. It's a little clumsy. Usually we have David on here. He is on his way home. I saw him post here a couple minutes ago. So, Corey Dreyer, he says, Rick Rowland, you are the man, buddy. Glad to call you my friend, one of the best fishermen and guys out there. Just so you know, man. So, anything you want to say back to Corey?
Oh yeah, I mean Corey's helped me out a bunch. I mean he works for Get Outdoors here in Greensboro, which is a big supplier. I've got my kayaks through them, and if anything I need, I just give Corey a call and he gets it for me. It's not an issue, Yeah, he's a good friend, definitely, and also with all the guys that fish the CKA and even the other circuits here in North Carolina. I mean, you got a large group of top anglers, definitely. I mean, North Carolina, like you mentioned earlier, is one of the top states with the most anglers, or kayak anglers, I should say, around. And these guys are, top notch. That's basically, what's helped me through the years, or why I prepare so much for a tournament, because I know these guys, and they're going to go out and catch them. So I got to work extra hard to try to catch my fish, and hopefully, be up there to at least compete against them. Your Corey Dryers, your Jamie Dennisons, your Shelly Effard, and Buster Swishers. And there's a lot of guys. I'm here to tell you, top notch anglers.
Right on. Shout out to all those guys.
Yeah.
I recognize a few of those names through social media, but that means a lot when somebody who wins an event gives you a plug. Brad Rhodes, he wants to know what your favorite thing is about your Slayer.
Oh wow.
It's like, can I pick just one?
Yeah, just one. Of course, sitting back and just pedaling, able to keep the rod in the hand and just go to town and fish structure and do whatever type of fishing I need to do. I can do it. And then another thing too is the stability. If I want to stand, I can do that. If I want to pitch a jig over some grass, that's not an issue as well. The stability of it is top notch. I'm 175 pounds and 6 foot, so if I can do it, I think it's pretty stable for me. So I don't see anybody else having that issue.
Yeah, me, big old boy here, 6 foot 280 pounds. I don't know if I probably could stand on it, but I wouldn't be very confident. I think I'm even having trouble standing in my PA. So I think it's all more up here than anything else, and I think my center of gravity is probably higher than it needs to be. But I'm definitely looking at getting a stand-up bar just for the peace of mind. I think that's what I'm going to end up doing here soon. But
if I'm, if like you mentioned earlier, if you're looking at a depth finder and you're saying 700 foot, I don't know if I'd want to stand up in a
well, no. See, now I'm not fishing in 700 feet of water. I'm just saying that if I was to go in over the deepest water I could.
Yeah.
I mean, the water. It's just. I mean, we're like canyon walls. I mean, it does flatten out. We got some really, flats. Or it'll be. I mean, it's not like a flat somewhere back east where you fish in a football size field or 3 football size fields. Of a flat, but it's a good portion. I'm putting my rig. I can put my rig over, anywhere from 20 to 60 feet and be able to reach the bank. Sometimes I'll be right up on the bank and I'll literally probably poke my rod to the bank and I'll be over 15, 20 feet of water. That kind of shows you maybe helps you figure out how steep some rinks are. But it does flatten out. I mean, it's not all of our water is that deep. There's no way I fish. I'm not fishing for those angler fish, out in the ocean with that little, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds a lot scarier than it is. Once you get out in the water, it's not. It's like you don't even know it's that deep until you try to read with your fish finder, and the guys going over bass boats, they don't even know. That's why you wear a PFD.
That's right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't ever fish in water deeper than like 80 feet. I mean, and even then, I usually cruise the bank anyways. So the bank line. But with that, man. So do you have any plans for 2017? What you got in store?
I'm gonna hit some of these tournaments. Definitely the trail events. Do some more trail events. the big open in Toledo Bend, KBF down there, and I hear talk on Santee Cooper. I hope they make that finalize that deal, because Santee Cooper is a top fishery where I'd love to go back. I've been there a few years ago, and actually me and Corey Dreyer went down a few years ago, and I'd love to go back for another tournament down there as well.
Right on, man. I'm really hoping I can make it out to one of those big events out there. It's fingers are crossed, man. Things are happening, and I believe it's doable. It's just a matter of waiting to see where the cards fall, kind of thing. Any sponsors you want to thank? Anybody support you? You want to give a shout out to?
No, I don't have any sponsors. Just me. Maybe one day, but right now, yeah, it's just me kicking it. So hopefully, I can keep on doing what I'm doing, and maybe pick up some sponsors here and there.
Right on. You want to, no shout out to, thank you to your boss for getting time off work, or your significant other for you're not getting mad at you when you come home with a $1,300 check.
Well, no significant other than my 16-year-old daughter. So, yeah, she definitely backs me, and when I'm getting off the lake, she wants me to call her and let her know what's going on, especially on tournament day. So,
right on.
Yeah, she's a big supporter.
Right on. Well, a big shout out to your daughter. What's your daughter's name? Let's give her a plug.
Mackenzie Rowland.
Well, thank you, Mackenzie Rowland. We appreciate your support of your dad, and all the youngsters out there that give their dads a call after fishing all day.
Oh yeah.
So if anybody wants to keep up with Rick, man, how do they do so? What's the best way to keep in contact with you?
Just look me up on Facebook. That's primarily it. I keep it simple.
Right on, man. Well, we appreciate having you come on. Hopefully we get to have you come on here again soon for another win. Yeah, man, I'm glad. Thank you for coming on, and congratulations,
Thank
man.
you. Absolutely, it was an honor. Thank you, Wes.
Yeah, you're very welcome, man. We'll talk soon. I'll hit you up after the stream. We'll let you give me your 2 cents on how you felt it went.
Great.
All right, man.
Talk to you later.
All right, take it easy.
You too.
back, everybody. I apologize about the little bit of weight. Wes has been drinking a lot of water, and he had to use the restroom, and we had to get Matt on. Haven't had any soda for since Friday, so I'm really trying to cut it down. That's why I got myself a Hydro Flask and been drinking the water. But enough about me. We're here to talk to Matt Ball, the 2016 Kayak Bass Fishing National Champion. We're glad to have you on, Matt. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm excited to have you on, man. This is a kind of a big deal for me. I mean, national champion, man. You are the man.
I'm just some lucky guy. That's all I am.
I've never held a $25,000 big old check before. I'm not that cool.
It feels really good.
Yeah, I imagine it does. But it took a little bit of a load off for a little while. Let you fish for the year for free, practically.
Yeah, absolutely. It was life changing in a lot of ways. It's been quite a fun ride. I hate to see it end here in another week. Well, I hope it doesn't end, but it very well could.
Yeah. I don't know. Hey, not to be a Debbie Downer. It's completely possible, and I believe you can do it. But your odds of one in 400 people, somewhere between 350 and 400 people is what they're figuring. The odds. It'd be a lot different, in the Bassmaster Classic where they have 52 guys fishing that, 1 in 52 versus 1 in 350. That's a lot. It's a lot of guys. That's a lot of people. That's crazy. This is a big event, man. And to be the guy on top, the last year, I don't remember how many the guys there were, but I know it's significantly bigger with 350 this year.
Yeah, it was over 250 last year, I think.
Yeah. So with that, looks like my notes just fell. I don't know how that happened. Oh, I don't need that one. I want to do. I should have done this before I initially brought you on, but let's. I have my deal of the week from Headwaters Kayak Shop here. Where'd it go? So let's give our weekly deal from Headwaters Kayak Shop. Dan says 25% off any feel-free dry bag and accessories. That includes tackle bags, fish bags, coolers, and dry duffels. So those of you who are heading up to Shasta and want to pick up some gear, some feel-free gear, 25% off, swing by Headwaters on your way up there, and Dan and the boys down there will be more than happy to hook you up. All right? So let's roll right into it, man. So what do you do for a living, Matt?
I'm a chemical operator at a large chemical company, DuPont, in Parkersburg, West Virginia.
Oh, right on. Obviously,
been there for 20 years.
Looks like
21 years.
Oh, right on. So you must be a guy that gets to call some shots, I imagine.
Yeah, I'm a supervisor now, which has just recently happened. So,
right on.
That's what I do.
Sweet. So that obviously allows you to fish.
I'm a shift worker, so I get I got a lot of time to fish, a lot of the prime time to fish during the week when there's not a lot of pressure out because I work a shift, 12-hour shift. So
nice. I
get a week off a month in a row, 7 days in a row every month. So that gives me a great time to go.
Wow!
But it also creates some problems with weekend tournaments. But I've been real lucky and blessed to be able to have some vacation to take to use for a lot of that.
Yeah, well, imagine you've been there long enough. You probably got quite a bit of vacation every year compared to the newbie guy.
I'm set pretty good on the vacation right now, so.
Oh, right on.
I just got to be careful with it. I'm mowing through it pretty quick.
Yeah,
I've got a big family that we like to do a lot of stuff together. So, I'm not going to spend all my vacation on fishing. So
yeah, I don't blame you.
They come first.
Yeah, I don't blame you, man. So how did you get started in fishing?
I grew up from the time I could crawl. I've been my dad and mom. That's all we did growing up. We went we went fishing. Every vacation I had as a kid, I remember going somewhere where we were fishing. Got pictures of me crawling out of a tent before I could even walk on the south branch of the Potomac River
nice.
over near Romney, West Virginia. So that's kind of what my family's always done. My dad's big fisherman, still is. He he's 70 years old and fishing out of a Jackson kayak. So
right on.
He's still going. Yeah. He's tough to keep up with. He's a matter of fact, he qualified for the national championship last year and then wasn't able to make it.
Bummer.
Had some medical issues, but he's going to be right out there this year. So,
shout out to Pops, man. That's awesome. That's awesome, dude. Cool. I don't necessarily know how old your dad is, but I don't know what the oldest competitor is, but that's still cool, man.
yeah.
You're still young. I mean, you're still young, right? I mean, you're not.
Yeah, I'm 44.
Yeah, I'm getting up there too. I'm not in my 20s anymore.
Yeah, it goes fast.
Yeah, I remember my orientation as a freshman in high school, like it was yesterday, and yeah, they tell you you remember this. You're gonna remember this when you're 30 years from now. It's like, damn you. But anyway, so how did you get into kayak fishing and kayak bass fishing, Matt?
I started kayak fishing with my dad. It kind of went from canoes years ago to kind of getting into kayaks. We would spend a lot of time on the Greenbrier River over near Lewisburg, West Virginia. We'd like to go there. And that's where we started really hitting the kayaks. But I grew up in a place called Grafton, West Virginia, and on the Tigert River, and grew up basically on Tigert Lake and Tigert River, spending a lot of time there. And just water and boats have always been part of what I do. So I got into kayak fishing probably 10 years ago, I'm going to say.
Oh, you've been doing it a while.
Yeah, I started out with the low end stuff and have slowly worked my way up to where I'm at today. I'm a big advocate for just getting out there and whatever you can get out there in. And I love seeing people out there doing the DIY stuff. And there's nothing wrong with any of that. A lot of people think you got to be fishing out of the latest and greatest stuff, but you don't. It's just a matter of getting people out there on the water. I hate seeing people look at people's rigs and say, man, that's key. How do you fish out of that? If it gets you on the water, it works. So you just may not be able to stay in it very long.
I kid you not. I apologize, Ken, if you feel like this is insulting you in any way. It is not. We have a guy out here. His name's Ken Shields. He like two years ago and a portion of last year, he fished out of the most DIY rig I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it almost looked like, obviously it wasn't, but it kind of looked like it might have been held together with bubble gum and duct tape. But that guy flat out whooped our rears. He is a fisherman. That guy gets out there and he grinds it and he catches fish. And last year he did upgrade into I can't remember what rig. I think he's in a feel free now. But man, dude, the boat doesn't catch the fish. The fish don't know what's on the other end of that line. They don't know. They don't know if you're white, you're black, you're green, you're blue, you're purple, you're male, you're female, you're whatever. They don't know what your boat looks like. All they see is that what's in front of them, and they eat it.
Absolutely, absolutely. The boat don't make you the fisherman.
No.
But yeah, I've progressed into some pretty nice rigs right now. I'm with Jackson Kayak now, so I'm pretty comfortable in my boats. So, but again, like I say, that's not a slam on the DIY.
Absolutely,
you can get whatever gets you out there. And I think once you get out there and you realize how much you want to be out there, then you realize, hey, I'd like to be in something that maybe is a little more comfortable or anything like that. So,
yeah. But
yeah, just kayak fishing in general, I've been doing it for a while. As far as tournament kayak fishing, I fished my first tournament kayak kayak fishing tournament on the New River 3 years ago. Gotta say, there's my buddy that fishes with me all the time, Coy Lehman. He lives here just down the road from me. We fished together out of kayaks ever since we started tournament fishing. What got us into the tournament scene, we were just trying to figure out a way to go try the New River in West Virginia and get a hold of some people to maybe hook up with to find some locations to put in. We got on the internet and I found a place called Mountain State Kayak Anglers, and got on there, messaged them. A good friend of mine now, his name's John Rapp, at the time was with Mountain State Kayak Anglers. He called me back, basically just brought us in, welcomed us in. We fished that first tournament with Mountain State Kayak Anglers, and they're family now. All those guys, the whole group of Mountain State Kayak Anglers, and there's other clubs in the state that are doing this. They've kind of spread out a little bit, and if you want to kayak fish in the state of West Virginia, you got a lot of options. There's a lot of tournaments out there, and it's great. I personally live in Ohio right now. I live just across the river from West Virginia, but most of my fishing is done in West Virginia with Mountain State Kayak Anglers.
Right on.
That's my family.
Right on. Out of curiosity, seeing how you live in Ohio, what is the haul for an event typically? How far are you traveling? If you don't mind me asking.
Basically, the closest tournament that I had last year was about 45 minutes from my house.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
No. I actually work in West Virginia anyway, so
you're paying West Virginia taxes living in Ohio. I love it.
Yeah, well, I moved to Ohio for these things over here. These things are a lot bigger over here, so these deer. But anyway, most of the tournaments I'm traveling in our local club, the Mountain State Kayak Anglers. I'm traveling about 2 to 3 hours. At the most, so it's not bad.
No.
Not bad at all.
No. It's not. That's not. Granted, you either have to get up earlier or you have to stay overnight, right? That's pretty much your option.
we usually stay, make a weekend of it when we go. So
right on, man.
Do a little free fishing. I got a great group of guys that we travel together. I mean, it's just become a big family. I mean, it started out with me and Coy, and then there's been his dad now goes with us. My dad, I've got buddies from home, guys from work, a lot of guys that live around here. We convoy to these things, and I mean, a lot of guys probably think, "Oh crap, here they come!" Especially when we launch on a river, we'll pile in with 8 guys and do a section of a river float during a tournament because we go together and we have a lot of fun. That's what I like about it. I mean, I've been real successful in this, and I think one of the main reasons has been not that I don't take it seriously, but I think I look at it I just am there to have fun, and I don't put that stress on myself. And I'm just as excited when the rest of the guys are doing well.
Yep.
And I truly am. So
yeah,
it's just a really neat way to get out and enjoy the outdoors with all your friends.
Yeah, I get it, man. Everybody has people they gravitate to, but when one of the people that you associate with on a regular basis, and they win, it feels like you won. Like you feel the same. I mean, granted you didn't actually win, but you feel a lot of the same emotions that they did.
Oh.
Sure.
Last year when I won the national championship, there's a video out there a lot of people have seen on YouTube where the guys that were there last year with me were in the audience, and it's a moment that I'll never forget is the way they rushed the stage when my name was announced and the way they were behind me the whole time. I mean, I hope and pray that I get a chance to do that for some of the guys in our club again, for them. Right. I want to see one of them in doing what I got to do this year. I really do. There's so many deserving people out there to get a chance to go on the ride that I got to go on this year. Would I like to win it again? Yeah, but boy, I'd love to see a lot of the guys I'm fishing with every weekend get to go through this, because it's awesome.
Right on, man. Not I don't know if jealous isn't the word, because I'm not necessarily jealous, but yeah, to experience that and spend it with your friends and your buddies, somebody you know, like,
oh, it's great.
Yeah, imagine it's unreal. There's nothing to there's
Yeah, it is.
Right on. So with that, so you fish MSKA, right? And then that's
MSK is my local club that I fish throughout the year. My local, that's the club that I go to most all the tournaments. I also fish as much of the KBF events as I can make it to. Obviously, KBF has changed my life.
Right.
So I'm going to I support everything that they're doing, and really a lot of the stuff that I'm going to do this year, I might have to miss some Mountain State Kayak Angler events, which really breaks my heart to do that, but kind of feel a little bit of responsibility to maybe go to do some of these that I didn't get to last year. Like I say, I've only got so much vacation, so I've got to really pick what I get to do out there. But I'll be fishing a lot of Mountain State Kayak Anglers, a lot of KBF events, a lot of the special events that the national championship has given me the opportunity to be a part of. Got to go to Alabama and fish the best of the best against Jay Wallen, one of the greatest guys that you could be around fishing. Spent a whole week down there with Chad, Gene Jensen, all of that, and Joe and Christy, the whole KBF crew. Once you get to hang out with those guys and see the true heart that they have for this, a lot of guys don't realize how much passion they do have for this, and it's good to be. I'm honored to be a part of it. So, the other thing is I'm a part of the River Bass and Tournament Series advisory board. So I'm helping out with that, and I'm going to do a lot of the River Bass events this year through Jackson and with Drew Gregory, Noah Heck, and those guys. So I'm a equal opportunity tournament fisher. I'll go everywhere. It's just to me, the more people you get out there and you're around, the more you learn. The more you get, the more friends, the more connections you make, and that's what we're here about. Making connections with people and spending time with other people out there. Yeah, it's great to win money, but that's not what it's all about. I know that sounds corny, but it's really not. So
no, yeah, the connections you make and the things you learn from other people are way more valuable. Way more valuable.
I've learned
money only lasts so long. Money only goes so far.
Yeah.
All right, on. So with that, so you're fishing out of Jackson. Is there which rigs are you fishing out of in particular, if you don't mind?
No, I'm really excited about this year. I fished all last year out of a Jackson Coosa HD. Loved that boat. This year, right at the beginning of the year, they just came out with the Jackson Mayfly. I was very excited about that boat, and I spent a whole week of long days in that boat down on the Coosa River and Lake Jordan during the Best of the Best tournament. And I got to say, that boat just was amazing. I love that platform for what I like to do. I stood in it. I stood going down the rapids and places and throwing into eddies. It is a really stable, great open-decked platform to fish out of. I'm really excited about spending the year in that boat. Now, on the other thing is Jackson has kind of set me up with a Cuda HD to run with a Torpedo during the national championship. So right now, that's what I'm going to spend the weekend at the national championship. I've got a Cuda HD with a Torpedo 403 ultralight motor on it that I was blessed enough to win during the Best of the Best tournament, both the boat and the motor. So probably won't be in my Mayfly during that, but I'm going to be rocking that Torpedo. I'm really excited about trying that thing out. Last year at the national championship, I did it all with a paddle.
In spite of the wind. I remember it being windy as all get out over there.
Oh, it was horrible. But we went where there wasn't wind. So, if I can find the fish this year where we found them last year, it's that's great. But if I got to go finding fish out on the main lake and looking for fish, this Torpedo is going to be a game changer. So, really, really excited about that. I love the CUDA HD. It's taken a lot of getting used to for me, going from the Coosa HD and the Mayfly to this CUDA HD. It's not the stability platform that I'm used to. It's a very stable boat. It's just got a lot different feel to it. It's more of a faster boat.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to, I've been spending a lot of time in the cold weather here in Ohio and West Virginia, getting used to that boat because I'm going to be spending a lot of time with it starting next week. So,
yeah, man, 1 week. That's it. You got 1 week as reigning defending champion, man. 1 week.
Yep.
Enjoy it. Enjoy it while you can, right?
I'm loving it.
Right on. So, we have talked about your win a little bit. You want to maybe do a shortened version of like how it went down? So for those who don't know.
Yeah. We got there last year. In a nutshell, me and my buddy Coy and his dad, we were fishing together. We got down there on a Tuesday, met up with the Mountain State Kayak Angler guys. We rented a house, had a blast. We took off and started looking for water. The water was muddy down there. It was windy. The weather was pretty good when we got there. So we just started looking for places to find the cleanest water that we could. We found fish the first day we got on the water, and then spent the next 2 days pre-fishing other places and just didn't seem to have the luck that we were having. And we were fighting the wind, and ended up, we went back to the very first place that we went to and stayed there the whole tournament. And I that's where I want it. And the techniques I was using, we started out fishing that week. I'm a river fisherman. I fish for smallmouth 90% of the time. I was throwing a Ned rig with a 412 bait company, a little Ned rig with a 412 bait company, 3.5-inch free minnow. And when we were finding fish, but then the wind hit and I just couldn't fish that. So kind of upsized that and kind of still went with that type of presentation, but with just bigger jig head and bigger worm. And it worked. I'll tell you, there's a lot of good fish caught. I've caught more big fish this year on a 3.5-inch Ned rig type bait than anything that I've fished ever. It's hard to believe that the quality of fish I've caught off of that small, with a medium light action rod.
The Ned rig, man, is taking the country by storm, man. Guys are catching fish on that out here left and right.
It's awesome.
Yeah. I've only thrown it a handful of times, but
you're missing out.
I know I am. I know I'm missing out. I'm possibly going to have one of those tied on here for the Shasta Bass Kayak Classic this weekend. Most
you tied on, you'll win.
Most definitely, especially seeing how we're expecting some rain and some weather, and those fish are going to be a little more finicky. So finesse is probably going to be where it's at. So with that, how has this past year been, man? What besides like the event stuff? I mean, what opportunities has the 2016 win brought to you?
It's been great. Well, there's been just an overwhelming outpouring of just people, coming to me through Facebook, through all the social media, and just congratulating me. And I feel like I know so many people out there that I've never put a face to that have become part of my life through this fishing, that I'm so excited about meeting them, a lot of them at this next national championship, because they didn't know who I was and I didn't know who they were at the last one. But I've gotten Jackson Kayaks brought me on board on their pro staff. which has been incredible. Jackson's been incredibly great to me. I'm a big fan of their boats, so for me to be on their pro staff is a dream come true. The other thing that's really been cool, got to go down and fish with the Yak Addicts
nice.
at Live Oak Plantation last November. Went down and spent a weekend with Everett and Shane and Chad, Gene, and with sorry, buddy, Adam Street. Sorry, Adam Street, who came in third at the national championship. Got to meet him and got to spend time with him. I've got to fish the best of the best. Got to go down on the Coosa River and fish a stinking marathon for 3 full days, 4 counting pre-fishing of just daylight till dark fishing. The other thing that's been really cool, I've picked up some really awesome sponsors that are supporting me now that I was using their products, and now they're supporting me, and that's been something really new for me. I feel like I really I've been blessed. I'm right now I'm with Jackson Kayaks pro staff. Torquedo I'm on their fishing team now. The 412 Bait Company, which is the bait that I really firmly believe Don Corbett, who makes those out of Pennsylvania. It's a small company that just does a great job. My boat's full of that stuff. I love it. So I'm on that team. And then there's another smaller internet company, Fishing Online, fishingonline.com. Those guys have been incredible for the small tournament series kind of guys, clubs around here in Pennsylvania, Ohio, West Virginia. The sponsorships that they're putting gift certificates out for all the guys, and they really know they got their finger on the heartbeat of the kayak world. So those are the kind of places that I'm really enjoying supporting. I love to give back to the people that are giving back to the sport, and Fishing Online, 412 Bait Company, Jackson Kayak has been incredible. And just today, actually, a little bit of announcement for me. I'm going to start a partnership with 13 Fishing, so I am really excited about that. So,
I think I did see you post that earlier. That's a big deal, man.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. Really excited about what that's going to entail. So,
yeah,
I meet a lot of great people. Got to fish with the Fluke Master. A lot of guys know him on teaching the world how to fish. He is a great guy. Spent a lot of time with him. He's also on the Jackson team. I've got to know Chad Hoover as not just a tournament director and the guy, the face of KBF. I've got to know him as a friend, and Chad's misunderstood a lot of times. So I think a lot of guys don't realize he's easy to take their own way, but
we all are.
Chad's got a good heart. He really does,
right.
And I owe a lot of where I'm at to the opportunities that he's put my way. So my hat's off to him. So I appreciate that. But so yeah, everything's been unreal. The Lord has blessed me beyond measure this year. And if it all ends this next week, hey, I'm good with that. I don't think it will, but probably not going to be the national champ. But I'm looking forward to going out and just giving it my all and having fun, and maybe helping along whoever wins it next enjoy the ride.
Yeah, they're definitely probably going to come to you for advice, man, because you've already been there, done that. You are the first one, right?
I'm the first.
So I was curious. Are you going to approach this 2017 national championship any different than you did last year?
No. I'm going to go at it, have fun. Got a bunch of guys. We're meeting up next Monday, heading down. We're going to go down, stay at where it's about 30 plus guys rented a house down there with Mountain State Kayak Anglers. We're going to go down, have fun, fellowship, fish, tell stories, tell lies, do all the stuff you do at the fishing camp, you know. And I made some friends with guys that I just knew as an acquaintance last year that now I consider good friends. And there's a lot of guys that's going to be there this year that weren't last year. And I look forward to getting to know all those in that same way. So
right on.
That's
man.
what it's about.
Yeah. It sounds like you're really looking forward to next week. Granted, I'm going to be here.
Oh, yeah. I hate to leave the wife and the kids. I got to give this shout out. I've got the greatest wife and kids in the world. They have supported me. They've all got their own kayaks. They're going to go on the tours with me this year when we can. My wife lets me she supports this place while I'm out doing it. And I can't thank her enough for not being, she could have a problem with the amount of time I'm away, and I appreciate the fact that she's my biggest supporter, and the kids, they're proud of me, and I'm very proud of them. So
Right.
I'm very blessed with a great family that's supporting me out there on the road. They are my biggest sponsor.
Right on. Shout out to Trisha. And
Yeah. By the way, I've been picked on a lot about my Facebook page, which originally was hers. I won the national championship without a Facebook page. So I got on hers, and that's how I was using her page to, and then it's kind of blown up from all the friend requests after that. And now I'm like,
now it's your page.
I don't really know how to don't know how I'd get everybody to follow me on another page. So I think I'm just going to stick with it. So
I love it, dude. Yeah, that's awesome.
Fishing page, but I'm going to keep the Matt Trisha Ballfish Facebook page.
That's all right. It's really not that hard. It's not that hard to remove the Trisha or that hard to move the Matt whenever you want to just tag one or the other of you. But it's.
I've been picked on it so much now, I don't even want to change it.
Just own it. Just own it.
I want to own it.
Right on. I've got a question. David sent me this question. I was looking for questions to ask you, and he wanted me to ask you: do you have any advice for newcomers, people who have never that didn't get to fish last year? What to expect? Maybe how some advice for newcomers. What would you say?
At Kentucky Lake?
Yeah, or just national championship coming up. Or you could say, technically in general is fine, but that was kind of his idea was national championship.
In general, just go have fun. Do what you know how to do best. If you like, don't try to change your style because you're in a kayak. Whatever got you into fishing and whatever, that's what I do still. I just do it in a kayak. You got to tweak the way you do it sometimes, but don't try to change anything. And the other thing that I'm going to tell you is just being at these tournaments, take it in and see what guys are doing. See how they set their stuff up. A lot of the keys to success in kayak tournaments isn't so much catching the fish. It's getting them on a board, getting a picture, getting them uploaded, getting them measured. That is, catching it's great, but it doesn't do you any good if it flops off the board before you can get a picture.
That's true. I mean,
learn, practice. Join these online challenges that like Mountain State Kayak Anglers has season long. West Virginia Kayak Anglers has season long tournaments. KBF online challenges, River Bassin online challenges. It gets you out there whenever you can be out and you can practice getting those fish uploaded, all the details. Because honestly, one of the hardest parts that most people realize when they get out there is just managing all of the stuff in that confined area and getting it done efficiently. That's one of the hardest things. Now, as far as the national championship, first time there, just take it in. don't go down there and feel pressure that you've got to, that anybody's going to look at you differently if you don't do well, because you're going to go down there and cross the bridge over before you get to Paris Landing or wherever, I forget the name of the marina there, and you're going to look at that water and be like, holy crap, this is huge. I mean, it's just overwhelming how big. Most of the coves we were putting in are bigger than the lakes we fish here in West Virginia. So,
wow,
it was just way bigger scale lake-wise than what I'm used to in a kayak. Now, I've been on big lakes in a bass boat, but to be out there paddling around in a kayak, and you think, I'm going to put it in this cove and fish that bank over there, and 45 minutes later, you're still paddling across to get to that other side. So,
yeah.
Don't bite off more than you can chew. Take that big lake and break it down into something small. That lake is full of fish. Just find a place and pick it apart. That's what I would do. That's what we did.
Right on. That's good advice. My advice, granted, what I would recommend. I haven't fished this KBF event, at least not even close to this scale. Read the rules. Read the rules. Know the rules. Because when and if you get a fish disqualified because you didn't do this, that, or the other thing, they're gonna basically blame it on. You're gonna tell you it's your own fault. You should have known the rules. You need to know your rules. If you don't know the rules, it's only gonna fall on you. So read the rules. Know them. That just goes in general. Mouth closed, not squeaked open. Spread tail, dorsal fin up, belly to belly, facing nose left, tail right.
Yep. Yeah, and that's where fishing a lot of one-line stuff gets you used to doing that stuff.
Yep.
So
right on. So there's that. Okay, so I want to ask you this. Okay, there's a lot of momentum in the fantasy world and fantasy sports. Fantasy fishing is growing too. So who would you pick if you were to pick a fantasy team for the KBF National Championship? Who would your fantasy team be? I don't have a set number of people, but who would you definitely have on your fantasy team?
Well, I'm going to put me on there. I know where they were last year.
Hey, nobody said you couldn't put your name. I didn't put the asterisk saying you couldn't put your name. So we got Matt Ball. Who else we got on there?
I'm going to have to go Jay Wallen on that team. There's some guys. I'm going to be kind of Mountain State kayak angler heavy here because I think that the guys that we got in our club, we are so versatile in the way that we have our tournaments, and we fish some tough conditions. So any of the guys that's coming down there from West Virginia, from Mountain State or any of the clubs around here, watch out for them. I'm telling you, they know how to fish. There's a Josh Berthsel on our club that just literally blows us away most of the time. Justin Hansen, last year he was in the money. Chris Alkire placed last year. John Rapp. There's just, and then my buddy Coy Lehman. We fished together last year. Watch out for him. Him and his dad, big Coy Lehman. I hope they find the fish. Because I'll probably be where they're at. We're going to be together. So if they find them, I'm going to find them, and vice versa. So as far as the other guys out there, man, there are so many incredible guys out there. I don't even want to go there because there's so many that. I mean, you're talking that many people. I've got so many guys that's on my Jackson fishing team that are just amazing. There's just a lot of you just can't guess who's going to win something like this. Nobody would have guessed it. I'd won it last year, ever. So I hope somebody goes out there next year that nobody's ever heard of and brings that check home and it changes their life. I think that'd be great.
Yeah, with the amount of people that are there, I don't sound mean or anything, but I honestly think it's going to be somebody most guys don't know who it is due to the fact that there's so many people participating. It's going to be somebody off the wall. Granted, you probably still have your top guys, your recognizable names in the top.
Ron Champion's going to be up there.
Yeah,
he might even, Ron is a machine. So, that's, now that you just said that, I'd have to put him on that team. On that you got to watch Ron. He won the Hobie Open there.
Yeah.
Jay, AJ, McWhorter. And there's a lot of guys that fish that lake a lot. So if the lake is fishing really well and everybody's catching fish, the guys that know that lake and know where the big ones are, that's going to be the key.
Right.
If it's rough fishing like it was for us, the guys that can just catch 10 fish in 2 days is going to have a good chance.
That's the tougher conditions, I think, will play into the outsiders' hands a little bit more.
That's what happened to me last year.
Right.
That's always kind of been the best tournaments that I've fished in my kayak fishing career have been the ones where the conditions were just horrid and the fish weren't biting. And I've been able to catch fish. Not a lot of big ones. Now, I did catch some big ones at Kentucky Lake, but not by Kentucky Lake standards. I mean, I caught nice fish, but I wasn't catching 10-pound bass, But if the big ones are biting, the guys that fish that lake a lot and they know that know how to find them out there, I think they're going to do really well. But if the weather tanks on us again, watch out for the outsiders, I think so. Yeah,
man, I'm really looking forward to it. Hopefully there's a lot of online updates and Facebook Lives going on. Those of us who won't be there can keep track. We've got a couple horses that are in the race from out here too. So, granted, Matthew Brennan, he's a tank. He's fished all across the nation too. He's in the Coast Guard. But shout out to him and shout out to Amanda too. I believe Amanda's going to be going out there with him as well. So let's see how they do. We're rooting for him. I think we have some other people going out there too, but I definitely know that he's going out there. He's the first person popped in my mind. Let's see. I'm gonna go through here, get some of these questions that we've got rolling on here. I apologize if I skip. Oh my goodness! Of course, it don't let me go far enough back. So if you have any questions for Matt, go ahead and post them. I'm gonna try to keep track of this. I closed it. You might be seeing here my kids are in there fighting. It's getting past their bedtime. So if you have any questions, post them on here. I'll try to get to them as best I can. Let's see. What other plans do you have for 2017? Anything exciting going on?
For 2017?
Yeah, for this next year.
Just chasing the bass, and I'm going to try to get trying to bring the whole family to a lot of this stuff, and get them engulfed in this crazy ride.
Right on. I'm hoping to expand my
next
my
big
fleet
tournament
here too.
after the national championship that I've got going is the Stonewall Jackson Lake. We're doing a KBF joint KBF event with them April the 29th. So I'm looking for, that'll be probably the next one, unless I can find time to make it to another KBF event outside of my home area, which I would like to, but just had to see.
Jim Ware is asking what you are fishing out of, and earlier we touched on that. You've been primarily fishing out of the Mayfly, right? Jackson Mayfly, and then for the national championship, you're going to be fishing out of the Cuda HD by Jackson with a Torpedo on the back. You're going to be booking it. And David Dwight Walls asked what rod you use. I'm going to answer this for you. He just signed with 13 Fishing. Congratulations on that, by the way. Jim Ware says he will be at Stonewall.
Awesome.
Tom Hill says, where are you fishing tomorrow?
I'm not going to be at work, Tom. I know that.
Mountain State kayak anglers, albeit Stonewall Jim. I don't know who's posting this Mountain State, but I imagine you might know who it is. Whoever's running the Facebook page, imagine posting that.
Oh yeah.
So with that, you want to go ahead and plug it? Oh, you already pretty much mentioned your sponsors. You want to go ahead and give them a thanks real quick and run down the list right fast?
Jackson Kayak, thank you for everything. Torpedo, you guys have been awesome. Fishing Online, man, you guys, everybody out there, if you need some stuff, look up Fishing Online. And also 412 Bait Company. 412 Bait Company, you can get their stuff on Fishing Online. So check them out. And, of course, 13 Fishing. I look forward to building some relationship with them this year. I'm looking very forward to that. So that's really, that's it. Check out Mountain State Kayak Anglers, MSKA. Check out River Bassin. Check out KBF, of course. KBF is, that's where it's at. I mean, that's where the big money's at. If you want to go big, KBF. That's where it's at. So
right on. Out of curiosity, I know there's talks of a pro trail. Are you going to be possibly going to be fishing that if it happens?
Well, there's nothing solid about any of that, but I do know, talking with Chad, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be, if it progresses the way it seems like it will, I'll probably be I'm going to be part of the World Championship team. Myself and Jay Wallen at this point that, talking with Chad, I don't know, there's no nailed down details, but that's a possibility. I know Jackson's been very supportive of my kayak fishing trails. So I'm all for it. I would love to make a living doing this, but I don't see it.
It's coming, man. It's coming. I mean, the light at the end of the tunnel is there.
Yeah.
Plus the thing is, it doesn't cost us it won't cost us $100,000 a year to fish a pro level tour like it would, out of a bass boat. So it's much more feasible, much more feasible. So with that, where can everybody follow you, man? I imagine Matt Trisha Ball.
You want to look me up under Matt Trisha Ball on Facebook.
All right.
On Instagram, I'm M-Ball T-Ball, which would be M as in Matt and T as in Trisha. And basically, I do hope to set myself up my own Facebook fishing page real soon. Not necessarily get rid of my personal one with that, but set something up where I can devote a lot of space for a lot of the great sponsors that are helping me out. I just need to take time to do that, and things have been crazy. Trying to working a full-time job and trying to do this and be a good husband and father, and it's my priorities are faith, family, work. So I've got to do that. I've got to keep those things in order. I don't ever want to let kayak fishing be what defines me completely. So I'm just going to live the dream, and whatever path the Lord blesses me with this, I'm gonna follow it. So hopefully I can use it as a platform for Him.
Right on. Definitely want to thank you for coming on, Matt. We want to thank Rick for coming on earlier. Trying to think of anything else. Any other questions before we wrap it up, gentlemen, on the feed here? Yes, no, maybe so. I guess not. Yeah, again, thanks you. Good luck to you at the national championship next week. Hope to see you do well. Even if you don't win it, I like to see you at the top, man. Cash a check, right?
I want to take home a check.
Yeah, take home a check, man. back-to-back check cashes in the national championship. You know, I don't know how many
That'd be
people,
awesome.
I don't know how many people have done that, but you know, I imagine there's only a percentage. But with that, man, thank you for coming on, and hopefully we'll have you on 2 weeks from now when you win.
That's a deal.
Right
That's
on.
a deal.
And if not, definitely if you win another KBF trail event, man, we'll have you come back on.
Awesome.
Right
Hey,
on.
I appreciate everything.
Yeah, you're very welcome, man. I'm very glad you came on. Looks like everybody else enjoyed the show as well. All right, so with that, you can stick around, Matt. We can shoot the proverbial a little bit after we let it go. All right.
Awesome.
All right. So everybody else watching, as always, love, peace, and chicken grease.
It's coming March 25th and 26th. Hobie Fishing World's qualifying event, Shasta Bass Kayak Classic. Get all the info at ShastaBassKayakClassic.com.